Yo, happy Friday, everyone, and today I'm gonna jump right into it. Do I think that dreadlocks are spiritual? Not really, man. I actually not at all. I don't personally think that dreadlocks are spiritual. You're only hair. Look, it's just hair. I don't want to say it's just hair. To some people, it's just hair. To others, but I think people get you're only your hair is people say that their locks are spiritual, but you're only that can only happen if you yourself as a person up here. It's all about what you have up here, what you have in your heart. That's what makes spirituality. You know what I mean? I don't think that simply growing locks makes one more spiritual than the next person. um, because when people say that their locks are spiritual to them, to me, just in my mind, I decipher it as when you say something is spiritual to you, um, it takes on a whole new meaning. It takes on the meaning of being of something. Like it just is you. It's of earth, of nature. Like there's no outside influences needed. you know um Nobody gave it to you. It's just of you. So like I said, when you say that, I take it literal. I take it that you are, that serious about it. And so, being that I think spirituality is being of something, of like as of earth, of nature, then I don't think that you need any outside, like zero outside manipulation or anything like that, as far as like not even products. Everything that you use on your locks, on your hair, and inside of your body should come from earth as much as possible. So instead of like using a shampoo, you would get aloe vera, you know, as your wash. So that's what, because of the fact that you're saying it's spiritual to you. That means you don't want anything outside of you, of nature, to touch that and to tamper with it. So and then you got people, man, you got people, what's the word I'm looking for? They got people use beeswax and stuff, and they use products to twist their hair, and they're talking about their locks are spiritual to them. um I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to knock nobody's you know um perception of their hair, but I just think that a lot of people get spirituality and importance mixed up. Um, my locks are, I would never say they're spiritual. Not that I'm not a spiritual person, that I'm a bad person, but um, my to me it's just important to me. Like it's very important to me. I hold it dearly, but I wouldn't say that they're spiritual to me. I wouldn't say that they've taken on a spiritual meaning to me. Like I said, I think people importance and spirituality is like two different things, because hair, whether it grows from us, but it's still kind of sort of like an outside object. Even though it's part of the body, it's like an outside. Like I can hold something important to me. Like it can be anything. It can be another person. It can be it can be a dog. It can be say it can be something. So that's how I look at anything can be held important to me. Spirituality is something a lot different, because like I said, if you when people say that they're, like I said, I take it a different way, because when you tell me that your locks are spiritual to you, um at some point there is a, how I want to say, there's a goal per se within spirituality that you're trying to reach. So like when you reach that goal, that's what I'm saying, a lot of times when you reach whatever your spirituality peak is, if there is a such thing, I don't know, but in my mind, that's how I look at it, that's how I think of it. There's a spirituality peak that you reached where you either wanted to go or you can't go any longer. You can't, so then that means you have to cut your locks off. I mean, because it's spiritual. You reach the peak of it. You know what I mean? So after that, Are they still, you know what I'm saying, are they still spiritual to you after that? Because, we got a peak that I believe. We got a spirituality peak or whatever you want to call it to where, you at where you at, you know. So some of us, we might reach, we might not. But that's just how I view it. So I view my locks as important, man. But to say that they're spiritual, I think people want to be a part of something, We feel like for some reason, especially people who freeform, we feel like there has to be, we have to be a part of something. Um, like I said, change is good, change is okay, but you people gotta understand, man. Like when you grow locks, you don't have to be a part of anything. Like you can just actually just be. There's no set group that you have to join. There's no set way that you have to talk. Like I said, all of that stuff comes from the inside, man. Like that comes from that's what I call spirituality and spirit. All of that stuff comes from within you. You can't look to another man and you know try to gain your all of your spirituality or ways to be motivation from them. Like people who grow locks and they try to get into these groups and these sects, and it's just you don't have to do any of that, man. You can just not, if your spirit takes you to those sects or those groups, then yeah, by all means, like 'cause that it's natural. You know what I mean? It's just you just gravitated to certain people, but it seems like people break away from, let's say, religion or something like that. They break away from that, and then they try. It's like as soon as they break away from that, they're trying to find another box to put themselves in. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be anything, man. You don't have to become. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to grow locks and say, I'm spiritual now. You don't have to grow locks and say that I'm a Rasta now, or I'm this, or I'm that. Like you don't have to do any of that, man. You can just be you. That's supposed to be the unique thing about this dreadlock thing, or the especially free forming, especially is supposed to be about breaking outside of molds that people have put you in. People say that you look dirty, that you look this, you look that. So it's supposed to be to do what you want to do and show people that we can do this our way, and we can make it look good. It's not about, what I'm saying, you don't have to, but I'm saying, like I said, you don't, if you happen to meet a certain group of people or meet a certain way of life that that's just where your spirit takes you to, then fine, but don't try to be so anxious to grow locks and put yourself into these boxes, man. You don't have to be anything. You can just be. You can just be who you are. Now, of course, we all want to gain some knowledge. You don't, what I'm saying, we don't want to, you don't want to be a dummy. But at the same time, you don't have to say, okay, I'm growing locks. I have to talk like this. I have to hang around these group of people. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that is needed, man. Just be you. And so that's why I come from with the spirituality thing. A lot of people feel like spirituality has become one of those boxes that people, or one of those categories that people put themselves in after something else. Not like I said. Now, by all means, if it is spiritual to you, and that's what you say, hey, I'm not knocking it. But so people personally ask me sometimes, are your locks spiritual? No. Do they have meaning? Absolutely. Do they have importance to me? Absolutely. But I wouldn't call them spiritual. They're not, because a lot of people, man, like I said, they're trying to put themselves into these boxes. They feel like I have to do this because I have these types of locks, or I have whatever type of locks. I have to do something. I have to be something. And people not understanding, man, you can just be who you are. You don't have to be put into a box. You don't have to be put into a category. You can just grow your hair just because, man. Like, this is what we do. This is what our hair does, man. You don't have to. You can just do this just because this is what our hair does. Now, I appreciate what our hair does. Like, so that's one of the many reasons why I have freeform locks, because the fact that our hair can do this and look like this is pretty unique to me. Like, um, I've seen pictures of tree branches and stuff, and when I look at our hair sometimes, and I'm just like, you look at, our hair, it just looks like tree branches. I think that's such a coincidence to me. So just little stuff like that is very unique to me. You know, that our hair can form like this and resemble something in nature, such as a big tree. Saying the branches of a tree. So that's pretty, pretty unique to me. But as far as the spirituality the thing goes, I mean, like I said, um, something can only be as spiritual as the person had spirit. If that makes any sense, you don't have nothing up here, then you can't. You really, dreadlocks. Then they're not spiritual, because you know what I'm saying, you're not right. If you're right, then I mean, hey, if that's what you want to call them, spiritual, whatever. But a lot of people are going about it because they, want to be put into a category. They identify with a certain thing. So like I said, it's okay, but I don't think you should do that. You shouldn't be in such a rush to categorize yourself and put yourself in these, boxes or groups. So, but man, that's about all I came to talk about today. I just washed my hair earlier, man. Still wet, so I'm gonna go outside and a bit, and let it dry out. You know. But getting a little longer, week by week, month by month. But I just wanted to come through, man, and chat it up a little bit. Peace.